Sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd. I'm a sports betting market analyst with oddsjam.com. I teach you how to bet like a pro. Today's topic is, what is ladder betting? Ladder, betting and sports betting. Got this question in from someone that wanted me to cover some extra topics and tips. This is what I do here at Bet School. Try to help you out with all the verbiage and the vernacular and the skills and the methods and the tips and the tools and all the information you need to increase your ROI. So let's talk about ladder betting, and here we go. All right, guys, real quick business before we get started with ladder betting is I want to remind you that you have an opportunity for a 20% off discount your first 2 months at OddsJam. When you're a new user, get signed up, but you need the tools. You got to have the tools to help you make the good decisions, the good choices with the markets. And so if you haven't signed up, haven't got a package yet, that applies for all the different packages. And we'll leave the links down below so you can take advantage of that. Here we go. All right, guys, of course, the channel here is to help educate you in sports betting and to determine the different strategies, methods, tips, tools, all the information you need to be educated and make good choices. And today we're talking about ladder betting. Now, ladder betting is a method used to incrementally increase your bet sizes as you go. All right, so let's get into ladder betting and the methodical strategy that you can use to involve this. But basically, again, it's a series of incremental bets, and it works like this. So imagine if you had a basketball game, you had Team A and Team B. You can pull a couple of teams here, and instead of placing a single bet on the outcome of that entire game, you break down your wager into smaller increments. So typically, you might divide it up into quarters or halves. For instance, you can bet a certain amount on Team A leading at halftime, another amount on Team B making a comeback in the third quarter, and so on. But the key principle behind the ladder betting is that to leverage your odds and the dynamics to your advantage. And so by strategically placing the bets on the different outcomes, you can capitalize on the favorable odds and hedge against the potential losses. So that's how that approach works. It's through careful analysis using all the OddsJam tools, you can structure these bets in that fashion. I will say my comparison to ladder betting is sometimes people will make large wagers, smaller wagers on really, really large odds. It's almost like a guarantee. Say if it's like a minus, 2,000, something crazy like that. But they're sort of like nibbling and just sort of gradually building up that amount. And so that's, I guess, another comparison is how you sort of place these bets and take the profits from that. Keep going and keep adding and keep building on it. That's where the ladder piece comes from. It's sort of you decide how many legs of the ladder you're trying to achieve before maybe you'd realize the profits on that, and also decide on your ladder what kind of odds you're trying to achieve, what kind of odds, whether it's minus 110, minus 200, minus 300, whatever the case. So again, it's just sort of rolling up as a progressive wager, climbing that ladder with each win. And of course, if you have a loss, then that excludes the previous wins, the previous success. I wanted to also clarify and let you know too that it's like options trading. Strike prices. I had originally thought that ladder betting was sort of like if you placed a bet at minus 110 here, you may also place a bet at different odds, say at plus odds with a different sports book at a different line. And actually the derivatives or the alternative lines, you scroll down here, you can find a lot of these options and choices in these markets. And so, for example, maybe a person would be playing minus 4.5 or plus 100, and maybe they'd also play at a different sports book, minus 4 and then minus 3.5, and just sort of ladder or place those bets at different spots, because they could essentially, the more it covered, the more that bet had a margin or a differential would increase their profits, but they sort of built in some protections at each level of those prices and of those lines. That's another, I guess, version of a type of laddering a person could do. All right, guys, there you go. There is laddering in the sports betting world and how you can use it in different approaches, different methods. And hopefully this is going to help you increase your knowledge base and kind of the fundamentals you can use and apply towards all the quantitative analysis through OddsJam and all the tools to help you find those values, really find all those areas in the markets that are going to really benefit. And again, don't forget to get signed up using Boyd20. It's going to save you 20% off. And also, too, love your feedback. Love any questions or topics you want me to cover here at Bet School. It's what we do. We try to help you get all the information you need, sort of a one-stop shop to get all the tools, education, plan, everything here. So if you got any value, please give us a like, give us a share, and get joined up for more content as we go forward. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's go make some mathematical money.